boo, 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 boo. Oh, boo, boo, boo. I'm so done. Hey guys, you listen to the £3.30 podcast. I'm your host, Asha.
It's Reem
and Sana. Okay, all right, safe. So how we all feeling this week?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, man.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm really tired.
Same.
I'm really tired, but Iraq was
Exhausted.
amazing.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your trip?
And yeah.
Did you get
What,
everything
sorry?
everything you needed out of the trip?
I did. It was a huge boost in so many ways, even though I was like barely slept. It was like, I don't know, there's something really glorious about
Going home.
I can't explain it, but like, yeah, going home and also having the opportunity to look after somebody who's very close to you. There's something really nice about
That's
it.
beautiful.
So I don't know, there was something where it was like, even where it was hard, it felt like my soul had been a little bit uplifted or something. Like I just left feeling really fulfilled, even though I was knackered.
Aww.
And yeah, man, it just made me realize how important it is to like look after everybody, but like especially family members and people who are really unwell and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was such a blessing.
God bless you, man. That's a
And she
beautiful
she
thing
made
to
me
do in the
so much dua.
months of Ramadan.
That's it.
But also outside of Ramadan as well.
Yeah.
But I'm saying especially in
And
the
you're going to
month
get
of
so much
Ramadan,
ajr from it.
if you
wallah.
can
Like,
imagine how that multiplies for you. So God bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
Thanks,
so much ajr. wallah.
guys. My granny was cracking me up. She's really her health has improved a
Alhamdulillah.
little bit. I think a bit of TLC is always it's so good for
Yeah,
your
man. It always helps
for
to
your
have
health,
people around
isn't
you.
it? Yeah, man. She'd ask me silly questions, but only towards the end. At the beginning, I thought she didn't notice anything.
Yeah.
By the end, she was like, "Don't those nails hurt when you wipe? What's that in your nose? Take it out." this, that, and she went in, and then and
When you
man,
wipe.
So she like, I was like, "Allow me." Yeah,
Bless
man.
her.
It was really nice. So I'm tired, but it was really, really cool.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, no, what you were saying about the whole like just a bit of TLC, wallah, it's so true. Like when people get to a certain age, companionship is so important to them. because
Everything.
You can imagine how much they've lived through and how many people that they've lost, and just having like that sort of someone just to kind of even just have a cup of
Yeah.
tea with them, like just something small that we would take for granted.
That's
like
it.
I appreciate that so much, and it boosts your health. It keeps your brain ticking.
Yeah,
it keeps your brain
definitely.
going. Like alhamdulillah.
And I was trying to teach her how to use her phone. I recorded it so I could show you guys. She wouldn't let me take a picture of her, but basically, like, she's got a Samsung, like me, and
God.
she's got a better one
Must
than
run in the
mine. But
family.
anyway, and so she doesn't know how to use it. I know, it's just so peak. And she'd like lock it, unlock it, open her contacts, lock it, unlock it, open her
I'm
contacts,
surprised
just
she
to
even
make
knows
sure
how
she
to
knew how
do
to
that,
do
to
it.
be
So she
fair.
for like half an hour. Bruh, I know that I taught her how to do it.
I remember the first time
WhatsApp was a myth.
my grandma came from Yemen, and remember those days when we used to listen to songs on TV. Like if they come up on TV and you like it, then you listen to it. Otherwise, you'll never hear the song ever in your life. Like you don't have access to.
Oh yeah.
So we were watching obviously Rotana, and a song that she liked came on, and I put my dial up on, literally dial up, the AOL shit. And I got her the song that she liked, and suddenly it was playing from the computer, and she was baffled. She was like, "How did this come from the TV to this computer?" She was not like understanding how. To be fair, I still don't understand how the internet works, but she was just so mind blown by the fact that happened. So I'm kind
Bless
of
her.
impressed with your nan, to be honest, being able to unlock a phone like
Yeah,
that.
she got Facebook,
Bruh. Okay.
but I don't know I don't know what her name
gonna
is.
add her.
And she's got WhatsApp, but she doesn't know how to use it. That's a stretch. I was like, and this is WhatsApp. And then
Get her on Instagram.
I was like, this is
Become a blogger.
this is how you use what, and this is what you do face.
Oh yeah, the face
and
and the
all of
words.
that. And she was just like, yeah,
You
that's
have to shorten it.
face and what. So jokes, but yeah, man, alhamdulillah, it was a special thing. Yeah, it is like you were saying, Shams, about like caring for the elderly and doing things that we take for granted. I think like the bits where it was like a caring thing, like practical things to look after somebody, to make sure they're clean and da. It's like, it's more than that. It is that bit of sitting down with them and spending quality time with them and treating them not like they're any different to you, like not well or whatever. So it's like, I would
like
silly
not
things.
patronizing them.
Exactly.
It can be really easy to patronize someone that's a grown person who, yes, they
Has
do have
lived
certain
for
limitations.
time,
Yeah,
bruv.
yeah.
Like,
It can be so patronizing how people treat them. Well, that's true.
so yeah, it just reminded me. And so like, if you got elderly family and stuff, then like holler at them. It means everything. And if not, and you want to help, then there's so many charities that do good things, like supporting elderly people to just do basic tasks or to be like befriend, because they, like you said, you lose so many people. You don't, the friends that you once had are no longer there, the family that you once had are no longer there, like,
And they're not looking for like friends, they're just looking for someone just to chat to.
Yeah.
Like, just to kind of like tell about their life, and just even just showing an interest. Wallah, it's like it does the world
Proper.
a world of good for them.
But yeah, so I'm good. I came back last night and I'm tired. But I appreciate everybody's interaction on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's been mad cute.
Yeah,
And
I did
everyone was like really interested, even though I was showing the same plants every day.
Same plants.
Posted from my grandma's garden. But that was only because of this condition, like circumstances. Obviously, next time I go, it'll be different. But yeah.
If you missed any of it, Reem has kindly saved the stories as a highlight on our £3.30 Instagram, so go follow £3.30, and you can have a look.
So that's all good. How's your week's been? Start of Ramadan and
Yeah,
that?
my week's been good. You know, Ramadan is a lot easier, as you can imagine, than the UK, because we break our fast here at 6:10ish, and the vibes are just amazing. There's
MashaAllah.
like, yeah, there's like lights everywhere, and it's a bit like Christmas, but Muzi style. So it's nice to see and nice to be around.
But isn't it hot though? I would imagine it's harder because it's mad hot.
It's hot, but it's not unbearable yet. I feel like last Ramadan was a
And
bit
also-
more in the summer, so it was a bit more harsh last year. But this year is all right, and plus there's like AC everywhere, and you're chilling at home all day. I work from home, so I don't need to be out in the sun. So it's all good, man.
Also, don't working hours change as well. Like, I know that's
Yeah.
what happens in Iraq. Like, work is just completely different, so it's made to be a bit more bearable.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in most like government jobs, they leave at like I think it's like 1 they leave, and in private sector they leave at 3. So Fajr's at home by 3:00, 3:30 tops, and then we just chill and then have breakfast at 6:00. And then people go to the
Cute.
mosque, Taraweeh, whatever you want to do. We, in our case, we just sit and play FIFA all night, and he smashes me like 7-0 and stuff. But other than that, it's all good.
Remember when you didn't talk to us for 7 days because you were annoyed about FIFA?
I'm close to doing that again. I can't lie. He's relentless with me. He just doesn't let me. You know, after a while, you expect him to just let you win. It doesn't happen. He's just like, it doesn't.
I respect
No,
it.
I don't. At least have a bit of like, you know.
No, Fajr would never. You can just tell Fajr loves winning.
Listen, that guy.
Such a cheat, honestly. We got into it with him as well. And
I thought he was going to swing for me. I know he doesn't hurt women, but for a minute, I actually got a little bit shook.
Even I was on his team, and I couldn't even back it.
Nah,
I was
with
just looking at
games,
him,
he's like a different
bare
person.
popping veins on his forehead. Like I was like,
He's
raw.
a proper sore loser. I can't lie.
Yeah, he can't. He will never let you.
He's a liar. He's not just a bad loser. He's a liar. He was
He
like,
makes up rules on the go.
Wallah, you're cheating. I'm like, I didn't cheat. Yeah, Wallah, you're cheating. I really didn't
With his
dare.
northern
At one
accent.
point, Fajr must have lied. And I just been looking at him, and I was like, someone needs to fast for 3 days because he literally said, "Wallah." Bro, you need to
shit.
fast. Please repent.
All for a game of Jackaroo.
You know what's funny? He's sitting right next to
Hold
me,
tight,
and he's
Jackaroo.
not listening to
No, but
any
Fajr's
of this
already next to this game.
conversation. So he's gonna have a nice little surprise when he listens to the podcast this week.
Hold tight, Faj, we love him.
We love you.
No, but he's genuinely the reason why we love Jackaroo. He's the one that made us so hype about it.
Now, one day we need to explain what this Jackaroo thing is, because I don't think anyone else outside of Qatar knows it.
It's like Ludo.
Except
But
10
not.
times better.
But litty.
Yeah.
With cards.
So addictive. I don't know. I think Sana
I
can
haven't
explain
played
it
in
best.
like 2 months.
I played it on the
I
plane.
played it last
I
night.
can't do it all. I was so every single second. I wasn't even doing my work. I was at work, yeah, missing breaking news because I'm trying to get my last ball into the little thing. Are you mad?
No, it's so addictive.
No, I had to stop. I've got such
You know,
an addictive
who was
nature,
it
I
that
can't
nearly
do it.
missed their flight? I think it was Shambak. You nearly missed your flight. Like you were close to missing your
Yeah,
flight
yeah,
because we were
coming
sitting
from-
there playing
coming
Jackaroo
from
like
Doha.
idiots.
Was it Doha?
I'm dead. Me and Nath once played until 3 a.m. I don't stay up for 3 a.m. for nothing. And I literally was up playing before work. I had to be up at like 6.
Yeah, it was mad.
I was on it. I was like, we must win.
And the thing is,
And I played with coins as well.
each game lasts about 45 minutes. So you know when you start this, it's a bit of a madders. My mum would call me decline. It was so deep, wallah.
I was missing everyone's scores.
So bad, wallah. Bear cracking up.
I'm here. Sorry.
Sana. Oh,
Ben. Not relating to
Sorry,
that.
I completely missed that whole
It's
conversation
I'm
because
quiet.
I'm playing GTA.
What?
I'm so done.
Listen, it's the only way I can
So
like
done.
focus
We're
but not
actual
focus.
nitties. I had to stop. So in this week's podcast, I think Sana sent us a link to an article on WhatsApp. I'd love for you to explain what it was.
Why are you
Sana.
putting me on the spot? Who said I even read it?
Yeah. Wow, you just saw the headline, yeah? You're moving like them Daily Mail commenters, fam.
Listen,
They don't even read the
I
actual
and write
article.
enough
They
articles in my
just read
life.
the headline and comment.
Yeah, so the story is basically about an author, an American author who was on the train and she saw a worker. I think she works in the train system of some sort. So she saw her having her breakfast on the train and she took a picture of it because she thought it was cool to like out her, and she atted her employers in the tweet, and it all kind of backfired because everyone obviously she was just trying to have her breakfast, and this idiot is trying to what's it called? Okay, so this article is about an author who was on the train on the way to work in the morning or something like that, and she saw a train worker having her breakfast on the train. So she took a picture of it and posted it onto Twitter and atted the woman's employer. And then obviously, so she was trying to do this whole thing where people are trying to embarrass people and get them cancelled, basically, pretty much. And it all backfired on her because the union for the train workers backed the woman, obviously the woman that was having her breakfast, saying basically she was just having her breakfast on the way to work and there's nothing wrong with that. And the author was cancelled by her own publisher who basically backed the other woman. This is a really bad explanation of what happened.
It's not.
It really was bad.
So basically, the woman basically what happened was that she got so much backlash on social media. So when Black Twitter got a whiff, yeah, that there was this woman who was attacking a black woman that was a worker.
Yeah.
They just pop her back to her, and it's true to an extent. It's kind of just like, in the grand scheme of things, she's doing her job. Can she not eat? Like imagine like you're trying to get someone sacked who potentially has a family and is struggling. Like, you know, I think in America, how black women are treated, I think it's more sensitive to how other people are treated within the black community, because you know what Martin Luther King said. You know, the most disrespected woman in America is the black woman. So when things like that happen, it's kind of like it tugs at everyone's heartstrings. So everyone was basically pissed that this woman was trying to get this black woman sacked for no reason whatsoever. And when they got with that, there was just so much backlash. Everybody was attacking her, and that's why the publication ended up pulling, because it doesn't look good on them, essentially. So it's kind of like the biggest lesson to learn from here is
Mind your own
mind your own business.
business,
It's like you're trying to expose someone for what? For what?
Eating. That's
Eat-
shocking.
And it's like she was doing her job fine. You got from point A to point B. So what? Is she supposed to starve then? I don't understand. If she's hungry, she's hungry. What can you do? You know what it's like when you're hungry. Like you can't even act properly in your work at work. So it's kind of like just pick your battles, B. It's long. It's so long.
Plus, it was just annoying. Like, why would you do that?
It
Forget
is,
everything
it's
else.
jarring.
It's just annoying. Like, why would you try to? I think this is the problem with like social media culture nowadays, is that everyone wants to go viral off the back of someone else, and they want to embarrass people, and they think that's funny. And I really genuinely think that was the purpose of that tweet. Is, you know, she was trying to just be like a bit cool and edgy, and it backfired on her.
I don't even think it's like her trying to embarrass someone. I think it's one of those situations where it's just privilege. Well,
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in a position where I want to. I don't know. It's difficult for me because I can never put myself in a position where I would want to get someone sacked over something that was so dumb.
Imagine.
Unless I felt entitled
man.
to something. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you feel entitled, when you feel like. What are you fighting for? What are you campaigning for? To eat on a train? Bro, eat on the train if you want to eat on the train. Like, who cares? No one cares. It's just long.
I think the idea, not that I think she's an idiot 100%, but I think the idea was that you're not allowed to eat on the train usually.
Yeah. It's the same thing that happened with,
So,
with
like, she was trying to
Diane Abbott recently in the UK.
Yeah, same.
And,
Right,
and there was
yeah,
a similar
with the
backlash
gym.
as well.
And do you know what everyone
backed her.
did? Everyone was like, let's all link up on the train and drink
Exactly,
at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, just because they wanted to campaign because it's dumb.
Yeah.
Diane Abbott's always attacked. Always
She
attacked.
is hard.
Hard for small. Well, she does do a couple of things in it that's a bit mad. But the level that she's been attacked on, like when she's getting death threats,
considering
it's
people
disproportionate.
Like, what's his name, Reese Mogg or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
name?
Reese
No.
Mogg is, yeah. The white
Jacob
guy.
Rees-Mogg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that idiot.
This is basically, you know that meme
Man
of
said
the white
Piers
woman
Morgan.
on the phone.
I just thought you were confused. he's the voice
You
man.
what?
You know the meme of the white woman on the phone. This is basically it. All of this, the whole
Yes.
situation is like that basically. Just
For
snitching.
real.
What was so this writer? What was her ethnicity? Because when I read
Jordanian?
No way.
so she's claiming to be a writer of color or
I
something.
think it said Jordanian.
I'm pretty sure. Really?
I think so.
No way.
Unless I'm
That
stupid
makes
and
it
I
even
just
more annoying.
made that
Why
up.
would you do that?
Of course it is.
Huh?
But that's why when there was the thing of like self, what's it called? Self-titled. Right, you drink water in a really weird way. Sorry. Oh my days. It was like what did it say about minority? Like she claimed she's a minority in thingy
Oh, what was it?
quotations.
What?
minority writer. I think she's
What's her
No,
name?
it
What's
was
her
like
name?
ethnic writer.
Self-acclaimed. I don't know.
Oh, self-acclaimed. Yeah.
Word, man.
Self-
Sorry,
self-
Shamak is getting the
self-professed.
Can you hear
No.
Sana's so used to backing people? Yeah. Something.
My G.
Are you searching it up? Yeah. Can you get her name as well, please? Because this
She is, yeah,
Jordanian
she's-
thing is annoying.
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'm sure she's an Arab, which is really annoying
Nah,
for
come
us. Pissing us off, man.
Minority writer.
Okay, but what's
Yeah, so calling out the self-described minority writer for shaming a black
Self-described.
woman and potentially getting her into trouble.
what's her name, please?
This is the thing. Like I think people love to be victims. What flag is that? Is that Palestinian flag?
Tynes, a Jordanian American writer,
There you
and
go.
World Bank employee
No way.
in Washington.
Are you serious? I don't know why I
Yeah,
thought
she
was
could be.
Israeli.
She could be Christian.
Yeah, I know, but Tynes is not very an Arab name, whether you're Christian or Arab.
No, but
mean, maybe
Maybe
American.
she changed her name. Innit? Maybe she changed her name when she got married. If
Maybe
she's
she's married to a Tynes.
Either way, it does make it a bit more jarring because
Mm.
it's the behavior that we're like.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Why?
man.
Why does it make it more jarring that she's Jordanian?
Because
Because-
you shouldn't be treating people like that. I don't think it's like a typical Arab thing to do, if that makes sense. Especially as a person of color or whatever she's claiming to be, I don't think it's right to sabotage people's lives like that when you know the struggle.
100%.
that we've all lived
And
through.
I think
yeah.
as an Arab, why it's more annoying is because you're like, come on, you could do better.
Exactly, yeah.
You know that thing of like, you can do better, which I think every race has.
Yeah, man.
With itself is like, you just think, come on.
I think yeah, no, yeah. I thought when you were saying what did you just say right now, as a person of color, as she claims. I think that in itself is very interesting, because I think that term, it's kind of like, I've always known it to be used contextually for black people. I've never understood why anybody else would want to use that term. And I think but I get it. I think if you're like Asian, yeah, so fair enough. If you're Arab, yeah, fair enough, I get it. But I think there's some people that love to use that, where it's like, it doesn't really seem to make sense.
What culture
like,
wouldn't make sense?
She's
In what way?
pardon?
What culture would not make sense to use?
Okay, yeah, I take that back. I'm just being nice, but Arabs, I don't think Arabs can use it.
You don't think Arabs can use it?
Sorry, I don't know why.
Why is that?
I don't think Arabs can use person of color. Because okay, the term in itself, it was originally used to be able to speak about people of color, sir. So and people of color normally tend to be, and it's not just, I feel like, I can't explain it. I'm doing a really shit job of explaining it, but this is what I'm trying to say, yeah? Because Reem is looking at me very judgmental. But this is what I'm trying to say.
Very intrigued.
It's kind of like,
You're basing it on shade of skin.
no, not at all.
Okay.
I think person of color, I think even that in itself, I feel like, because it's so general, because it's such a general term, it's easy to understand why people would misuse it. So I feel like, and I could be completely wrong, but from what I've always experienced of the word, yeah, whenever I hear people of color, automatically I think you're either black or you're brown. I don't think
But
you're
hold
anything
on,
else.
am I not brown?
I literally mean like Indian, Asian, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I wouldn't consider you to be brown.
So what am I, white?
And I wouldn't say that you're white, because I think white is just
where would
Caucasian.
you place me?
So what would you say?
Yeah.
It's just Arabs, isn't it? I don't
Nah,
know.
you can't do that. You can't just outcast me like
term in
that and leave
itself.
me there. Give me somewhere to be.
But why are you trying to beg it to be a person of color?
No, can I just say, I think as I know, coloured was first. I don't think it's like a thing to be using in a proud way, because as far as I know, for example, South Africa, it was used to talk about people that were mixed heritage. Right, so they were mixed.
I thought coloured was just.
I thought coloured was black. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was initially in South Africa during this time, it was about mixed people. So as far as I know, for me, it's meant anybody who is not of Caucasian origin. That's like, and you know, like, and I mean that like the whole of Europe. So as far as I know, it's Arabs, it's Asian, it's black, but also it's like there's so many different divisions of people of color.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just.
I think that term POC has kind of like replaced the idea or the concept that you could be politically black, which was the case in the UK in the 70s and stuff. So people that were Asian and Arab living in the UK in the 70s would consider themselves black politically. So they would say because it was either white or black, so they fell into the black category. And I think over time that has become a bit more refined, and now people say person of color as opposed to black, which won't be accepted today. For me as an Arab to say I'm black or I'm politically black.
What's wrong with saying that someone's black?
Wait, sorry. Let me, because they're not.
I'm not
like
but
as in an
yeah,
Asian.
Exactly. I'm not black.
Someone from Pakistan isn't.
Because they're Pakistani.
Okay, so what is their color? So you're black, but you're Somali.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
an Asian.
So why can't you just be addressed as that instead of being grouped into one group of like, oh, we're people of color?
Because I think it's like a resistance.
Just say it straight. I don't have to go around and be like, yeah, I'm a person of color. That's dumb.
I think it's been coined now as a way of like resisting the discrimination that we face from white people or from the system.
Yeah.
So it's more of a defensive thing to like put us all together as one, so that we don't have to individually fight against.
But Sana, surely you would agree that the discrimination that you would face as an Arab woman is different to the discrimination that I would face as a black woman.
But
Yeah, but
the
it's
point
different
is
is why.
we are
Different to
all
the discrimination
discriminated
that an
against
Asian
by white
person
people
face.
or by the system.
Yeah, but it's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, but the
100%.
point is there's still
Yeah,
discrimination.
no one is like competing with who's getting more.
It's not like Yemen's
discriminated
living
against.
like life right now, is it?
No, of course not. But
Do you know what I'm like? Look who you're talking
Yeah.
to.
no. But you guys just don't understand it. I just don't think it's the term that anyone.
So
No,
what?
the
So
term
what would you say?
itself
What would
is
you
not a
use
cool
instead
term.
of person of color?
We're not like proud. I think because she was just showing me as you were talking an article that said as a black woman I hate the term
POC.
person
Women
of
of
color
colour,
or women
yeah.
of color or whatever.
Okay.
I don't think colored or women of color or people of color is a good term to use because it is
has
like
come
who
from
are you
that, yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
and why are you putting them like that? You could be, in my head, you could be talking about somebody who's from flipping, I don't know, China, or you could be talking about someone from Ghana. Like be specific.
It's like when people say, "Yeah, I'm traveling around Europe.
Look, I'm doing somewhere.
I'm doing Africa.
done India."
This I'm doing Africa, darling."
So dead.
But yeah, so obviously the level of discrimination is very different, but it's this is what for instance, when I was younger I used to hate it because people would always be like, you're not white but you're not black, so what are you?
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, did I just trigger you guys low key?
No, but it's like it's an interesting point you make because
Yeah.
it is very much like, okay, well you guys are not, I don't know, because I feel like even Asians like
I think for me, the reason why, I'm not gonna lie, let me just be honest. I think the reason why I don't think Arabs can use the term is because just historically Arabs have been the oppressor and the aggressor.
definitely.
So it's difficult for me to kind of be grouped in the same categories. Not to say that you guys aren't victimized in other ways and you guys aren't oppressed in other ways. Of course you are. And it's something that I definitely sympathize with. But it's difficult for me as a black woman to be able to relate to an Arab or an Asian or this or that because the discrimination that we feel is different to the discrimination that someone else.
That's why your
it's
mum's
very
Arab.
Yeah, that's my mum.
At your
innit?
mum.
But even my mum doesn't say that she's Arab.
Yeah.
She'll never say that she's Arab. She'll be like, yeah, I'm Somali. And it's because of the discrimination that
Yeah.
she would face in her own country. So it's kind of it's a double-edged sword. I like saying that word.
But would you say
So I think that's why I find it difficult to kind of be grouped in the same category as people who, historically speaking, have been on the other end, and to this day, Arabs low-key are still
Of
very
course,
like,
not low key.
are like it's difficult because like some Arabs are definitely mistreat black people and mistreat Asians
100%.
and the same, and it's one of the, I don't know, you can say the same thing about how black people treat other people. It's just a difficult one, wallah, but I just feel like there's levels to it, and just because the term is there and when you look at the meaning of it, you're included, doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. Like, and I totally agree with you, Sana. Like, Reem, I just don't like the term itself. I think I would never sit there and be like, yeah, I'm a person of color, and I just wouldn't say it. I just say I'm black.
I think it's just
That's
a
it, call
bit
it a day.
it's a bit of a loaded term. It's got connotations. Maybe that's why. But if you were to use a replacement word or term, what would you use to include all of us? Or would you not include all of us?
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to because I feel like everyone's individual struggles should be recognized as that. Just like how I feel like there are so many, like, I don't want to bring the conversation to and it's a completely different thing. But even when you look at like feminism, right? Feminism is there for the white women. It's not there for Layla that's living up in Ghana trying to raise her kids and is getting beaten black and blue by her husband. They don't care about stuff like that. Do you get it? So it's like I don't see feminism appealing to other people and other races and other communities as much as it appeals to the white woman. I feel like feminism has become this whole free the nipple shit. So it's like, so this is the reason why I think I just have a problem with labels. I think that's all that it is. I have a problem with labels and being grouped together in one big thing because I don't think it's right. I feel like people struggle in different ways and to be able to address it individually, I think gives it so much more respect than to, we all face the same struggle, we're all people of color, we can all relate, because like there's So you see, like how I don't know if it was this podcast that we said it in, but there was sorry Nathan, you're gonna have to edit all this bit out because I think I'm just talking madness. But
No, you're making sense.
so Asian people have came to the UK, for example, yeah. And when I say Asian people, I literally mean like Pakistani Indians, yeah. They've been in the UK for generations. So they've been able to kind of build that solid foundation, and they really flourish as a community, yeah. And then you've got like
with a lot of hardship at the beginning.
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
a
Like
lot.
huge, like
Matters.
literally just getting mashed up.
Yeah. So then now it's only now that I feel like those generations are able to kind of reap the rewards of like how
Yeah.
much their forefathers
Yeah.
had like basically suffered, right? And then you've got like the new Arabs, like refugees that have come to the UK, yeah, and they're facing that struggle that they once were. So it's difficult because now their children won't be able to reap the rewards until generations to come. Maybe their grandchildren. Like for us, we probably won't have like maybe our kids might be able to own homes and be comfortable and be cushy and blah blah blah. Like how other
We'll be
kids
able
are.
to own homes.
100%.
Inshallah. But do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's difficult. So when people say we're people of color and we all face the same things, yeah, there are similarities in terms of the discrimination that we feel, that we collectively feel, but you have to acknowledge the fact that there are different categories of minorities who maybe benefit in other ways. So my struggle and your struggle will be different. I like me struggling to find a job is different to maybe like Patel struggling to find a job. It's just going to be different. Do you know what I mean? Like, or to Mariam finding a job. It's just going to be different. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I don't like being grouped together into one, because we do struggle differently. So that's why I think I just don't like the term. And I don't like anyone using it. And if it comes to it, people do have to use it, then I feel like it is just for like maybe like Black people and Asians. Sorry guys. In conclusion, that's it.
But
Done. Drop
I
the mic.
just-
Bye.
Where we at, Sana?
I just don't understand what it like that last point that you made. Why, if it includes Black people and Asian people, why would it not include Arabs?
Because like I said before, I feel like if you're talking about people that are coloured and blah blah blah, that term in itself, coloured, yeah, because it's come from people of colour. People of colour has come from coloured, right? So it's like that term in itself. So Reem, what you were literally just saying now, I'm just trying to explain it. So you know how you said people of colour has come from, but the reason why we're referring to each other as colour is because it's come from the term coloured that they used to use in South Africa, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
So it's like if that's where it's come from, then I would feel like it's first and foremost it's addressing Black people.
100%.
So the idea is that they were the ones that they were not the Black, like as in both parents Black South Africans. They were the mixed ones that had unfortunately the mix of like kind of oppressor rules like British and European, and also mix of, I was just reading, Arab and another thing called, I don't know what it was, but yeah, something. So it was the mixed South Africans.
So what was the question?
The question is if you can
was,
accept,
why don't you include Arabs in that?
yeah, if you can accept Asians
Like
in
I
that,
said
why not
before, I
Arabs?
just feel like because Arabs have been on the receiving end and have been the oppressor at the same
As have
time.
Asians.
Asians
Yeah, of
Asians are
course.
just as racist.
So that's why I think it's a colour thing for her.
No, it's like it's an ethnicity thing.
But how are Asians and Black people the same ethnicity?
I never. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying this entire time when I've been ranting. That's what I've been saying. If they're not, that's why that term "person of color" doesn't make sense.
Okay,
for
but
us to all
then
be
you
grouped
said if
together
I had
and
to accept,
As
it,
long
then
as
you
you're
should accept
Asian and
Asians
Black.
and not
No,
Arabs.
I'm saying if it comes to it by force, if I have to, okay, then it would be Black and Asian people. But that's all
why?
I'm saying. But I'm just saying in general, I don't like the term. No one should be using it. No one. Should
No,
be
I
grouped
agree
together.
with you about the term.
Okay, then can we just drop it?
No, I just want to know. I just am intrigued because you're not the first. I don't think you're the first person to be saying
100
this.
Yeah, no, you're not.
At all.
Let's ask
It's
let's
just
ask
like
our
how,
listeners whether they agree with
Yeah,
the
what do you
term.
guys
What
think?
do you guys think of the term? Do you use it? If you don't agree with it, why don't you agree with it? Do you believe Arabs or Asians should be included in or not?
And if not, then what is the alternative?
Yeah, what's a replacement word that we can use? I think it's important to have a word that brings us all. 100%. I agree with what you're saying. We're all different. We have different struggles. We face different discrimination and all of that stuff. I agree with you 100%. But I think that it's important to have some sort of solidarity between all of us, because we are at the receiving end of discrimination, all of us, whether we like it or not. And I don't think white people or the system, let's say, differentiates between us in terms of like I just don't think the average kind of Joe from Cornwall is gonna care if you're Asha the Somali or Sana the Yemeni.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been called Pakistani before. Just
there you go. We're all
that's
Pakistanis.
How you know they're dumb. Like it's actually it's just they've got there's no thought been put into it. You just a particular shade. And you're just like, you're darker than me. The one I go to Marbella. So you know them ones. But listen. So what was I going to say as you were talking? Yeah, I was like, Sana, I think to have a term that people of colour, and I'm doing quotation marks, guys, yeah, that we can all sort of use collectively, I feel like really encourages that narrative of us and them, which I feel like is very divisive, and it's actually very like if what we're campaigning for and what we're championing is unity and allies and for people to change their ways, and I don't think that narrative is necessary. I think when you're addressing things, address people by their ethnicity and address the issues that they all individually face. I don't think it's healthy to kind of still be like us as black, Asian, white, and black, Asian, Arab, whatever, blah blah blah, against the white people. Like it makes no sense to me.
You know that it was hard for her to include Arab in that.
She just hates us. What the
forgot,
fuck?
guys. Sorry.
Okay. Do you know?
All the Arabs are listening,
recently in America they elected.
Obviously, I love you guys.
What did you say, Sana? Because Shambak was just speaking.
Recently in America they elected obviously women of color, right? And that's been the kind of go-to headline that all publications and all platforms have been praising and stuff like that. How did you feel about that term, considering that there was a Somali, there was a Palestinian Arab, and there was a I think she Latina, right?
Yeah, I think to be honest, in the grand scheme of things, my opinion don't matter. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is a Latina, a black person, an Arab, Asian, whatever, blah blah. Yeah, fair enough. Like we're all minorities. Yeah, I hear that, and we all kind of, there are similarities in the struggles that we face and the discriminations that we face. So whatever term that people want to use, let them use. I'm all for people using whatever term.
Can I just ask?
Use.
Sorry,
quickly. I just don't agree with it.
Would you consider Latinas in that, or like Latinos?
I said what I said.
Would you consider them or no?
I said what I said.
No, as in no. Okay, good, because I was about to say, because the majority of them are like mixed with Europeans, so I just wanted to...
I remember I was watching this this really interesting documentary about the lives of rappers in America. It's called Love and Hip Hop. Yeah.
You're such an idiot.
Love and Hip Hop Miami, and you know how in Miami they have a really big sort of like Latina community, right? So there's there's two girls there. So there's a girl called Amara La Negra, and she is Afro-Latina.
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
She's like beautiful. She's super dark Afro hair, and for her, she's like, I'm a beautiful black Afro-Latina woman, right? So she was talking about this, blah blah blah, and then there was another girl that was on there who was Latina, but she was just like what you would like she's I don't know what the correct term is, but she just basically wasn't black. Yeah, she was what would the term be, Reem?
Don't know.
She was just a light-skinned woman, essentially. Yeah. I don't know where she's from, but she's from like them kind of ends. Yeah. Anyways, she was saying how, as a Latina, I experience all these different discriminations, so I can say the word nigger.
Oh.
And
oh God, there's always one.
And she was like, yeah, because like people have been discriminating against me, and I feel this and I feel that, blah blah blah. So yeah, I do relate to the word nigger, and I can say it. Then everybody was going ham because it was just like nah, like you just can't. So it's like it's that whole thing of people love to be victims, people love to be oppressed, people just want to talk, man. People just want to be involved in the conversation and have some sort of opinion and attack people on a regular basis. and in that you say the wrong things. You say dumb shit comes out your mouth because you're fighting the wrong battles. Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, you use whatever term you want to use. If you want to use the term person of color and you feel like that relates to you, you do you, boo. Yeah. Even if you're Sandra from bloody Perth.
I think you're pushing it.
Like, whatever it is, you do you. You can use whatever term that you want to use. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I don't agree with it.
Okay.
And in the grand scheme of things, my opinion don't really matter. Yeah. So
I agree with you that the term is not a good term.
If you want to voice your opinion, if you want to use your platform for good, and you want to really shed light on the different things that people face, you do. But in the long run, yeah, it probably benefits the community. So who cares about semantics and who cares about linguistics and what time? Probably just use whatever you use. I don't care anymore. I think this conversation has drained me to the point where I don't care.
She started off with like such a confident opinion.
Just imagine that car riding fucking Doha. I'll never forget that car ride.
That eyebrow trauma. No, it's good. It's important. These discussions are important.
Yeah, definitely.
No. Wallah, these discussions are important because they're slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not uncomfortable because I feel like you guys get it.
100%.
No, I'm glad you said it because I didn't even think that there were people that had a problem with it. To be honest, I thought everyone was happy with that. So I'm glad you shared your opinion.
I don't think I've ever used that term in my entire life.
I've never used it in my life.
I agree with you. It's not a term that is like I don't think it's a positive term. I think there should be other words that are used, especially because it's like, what does that mean? What are you? Like, when you say person of color, it's very broad.
Just
and
like
also,
now we said person of color, and then we were bare looking for what is she? Where is she from? Like, this is why it's dumb. Just say who you are. Just say, like, why do you have to? Yeah.
I think Sana's right. Like, it gets used as like a resistance thing.
Yeah.
More than anything.
I saw someone tweet about the term BAME as well, saying that it should not be used at all, and I don't know. I don't understand why. What do you think of that term?
Yeah, I don't get why. Maybe BAME. I think it's weird 'cause I'm okay with BAME.
You're okay with it
because it's a bit more specific.
Do you think?
Yeah, because it's saying black, Asians, and minority ethnicities or whatever.
I think they're trying to change it now. They're trying to add another letter onto BAME.
What is it?
Like what?
I don't know. Well, maybe to include Arabs in it. I don't know. Vex. Bameo.
No, but like it's it is annoying because it is hard being grouped. It is hard it being like either white or like you're something else. It's like, why is it always like split between the two? You're right. I agree with you in terms of that there should be, but I think for so long, I know for me, for instance, like when I was younger, like them stupid tick boxy things.
Yeah.
Bruv, there was nothing. I was other. Forever. I was forever other. Just recently, I've seen Arab.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people didn't know. This is another thing. Like people didn't actually. A lot of it is ignorance of people not knowing about who people are until the wars happened.
You know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone listening, but I think I remember reading something about that in America, and with the Arabs that first went over to America, they didn't want to be classed as other or black or whatever other groups there were. So they petitioned to be included in white. So therefore, if you're in America and you're doing a census or whatever, it would have like white Arab or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in America, but that's something that I read recently, and I think they're only like trying to change that now.
That reminds me of the whole "Are you black or are you what they were black? Oh, what are they black? Are they Somali?" And that's like, and I remember I went to this one talk a couple of years ago, and there's this woman that was there. I don't know if I've ever. I think I've said this before, but I've never seen a Somali woman with a Cockney accent in my entire life. She was like, "Yeah, but I've been raised in Papa Auntie. Yeah, I was raised in London since the 90s. I grew up here. Blah blah blah." And it was bare cute, yeah. And she's like a multi-millionaire. Like she has like this massive courier service at Amazon. Like she's one of those women that came from back in the day and really sort of set up right and really set her family straight. Anyways, she was talking about how she goes when they grew up. She goes how they were like the Jamaicans or Nigerians that were in the area. They would be like this kind of like turf war and beef, yeah. And she was like how if there was any sort of conflict amongst themselves, their communities never really back them the way that if there was conflict that involved a Somali, you would find communities coming from north, east, south, west, just to go and back that one Somali. And it still continues to this day. I know for a fact, if I'm walking down the street and someone's harassing me, I know a Somali boy will cross the road and be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Leave her alone, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know, and I think that's what it is. So, and then that's where Somalis had kind of gained that reputation of, that's a community that sticks together. So when people say, are they black, are they black, are they Somali, it's because we fought very hard to be distinct as a distinct community. I don't think it's right, because it's dumb, because it's like, ultimately when someone says, are you black, they're just looking at your colour. And as you said before, I don't think someone that's maybe potentially racist really cares if you're Somali, if you're Nigerian, if you're Jamaican. They just kind of see you all as the same shit. So it's kind of like, I can see where she was coming from, because she was like, that's something that we should all be proud of, the fact that Somalis are known and have a reputation of like, and like people just, she goes, when you think of black, you don't really think of anything else apart from Jamaican or Nigerian or blah blah blah. You don't group Somalis in that. So she goes, you should be proud that people know who we are, and like, which makes sense in that context. But I feel like it kind of pushes this narrative and this issue that's been ongoing within the Somali community, where Somalis have never really sort of felt like, I think I said it in the last group podcast. Somalis never ever really grouped themselves with other people, and there's this kind of like, there's this term that we have that's called jarer. Jarer literally means hard hair. It
means what?
And this is literally, even when we talk about Indian people.
Hold on. What?
Asian
Sorry,
people,
what does it mean?
we say so Somalis, jarer. Jarer means like hard hair. And then you've got timachila, which is soft hair, which is what Somalis used to describe Asians.
Okay.
So it's like, so Somalis would always use the term jarer in like a really sort of like with negative connotations. And I feel like it's close to calling someone a nigger. That's literally how I feel. I just feel like it's so disrespectful and so unnecessary. But it's like the way that it's being used. The term itself means nothing. It just means hard hair. Like my mom sometimes says to me, like, oh, somebody jarer, like look your hair, like go brush your hair, blah blah blah. But it's the way that it's being used. So it encourages that kind of like us and them. We're East Africans, but we're separate to the rest of Africa. Like we're not like them. We're different, and blah blah blah. Which I feel like is very detrimental, and it's very toxic and unnecessary. Because ultimately, we're all getting stabbed up and shot up. Like we're all getting mistreated. We're all getting discriminated against. So yeah, in that sense, there should be unity. And I don't know, man. It's a hard one. I don't even know what you were saying, but it just reminds me of that whole are they black, are they Somali bullshit, which I don't like. I hate it. Anyways, speaking of, go on, Reem, what were you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just listening.
Lovely jobby.
I want to talk about Kim Kardashian.
Well, what are we saying about Kim Kardashian?
I feel like this whole podcast is literally gonna be Reem and Sana against Asha.
What?
Basically.
Nah, go on.
So Sana sent a link to Reem sent a link to an article.
You're bare baffled today.
Reem sent a link to an article in the group chat, and it was Kim Kardashian lands a reality TV show to document her new career as a lawyer, right? So her studying blah 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 whatever. Go on, Reem.
No, you speak.
But
babes.
and then Sana was like, I don't rate her, I hate her, blah blah blah. And Reem's like, yeah, she's
Sana never.
I literally didn't say nothing.
I hate her.
I just said I knew that she would like use it in some way, like profit off it. When I saw all the hype about her trying to like help guys in prison and stuff like that, I knew there was something behind it. Like I didn't just take it at face value. So when she sent that, I knew there was something behind it. That was all I said.
Bro, there's nothing they do that is not documented on them Dusty TV.
Exactly. So why
channels.
are you guys very upset about it?
No, it's not bare upset. It's just like, you live your life, do your thing. If you're gonna do things like that, I just don't understand the need to be documented to start a whole reality series based on that. I don't get it.
And I think it's because is it because she's doing a good deed? Because if it was like she was documenting her experience, maybe she was moving somewhere. Maybe she decides to actually move to Chicago with Kanye, right? So it was like Kim and Kanye take Chicago, and you know the little series that they always do. Would you be this upset?
No.
Would you care?
I wouldn't care. But the only reason I care,
so what's
the only
issue
reason
with
I
her
care about this
documenting?
is because,
Like Reem said,
Let
they
Sana
document
explain,
everything.
let Sana explain, bro.
Because you guys are saying they document everything.
Yeah.
So it's expected. So why is it so outrageous that she's actually documenting her?
Because I feel like their intentions, to me, I feel like I just never understand their intentions.
I think they're
It's
skewed.
not fair to say that.
No, I genuinely don't. Like, in so many situations, so many people that get involved in that family, things don't go right for them.
True.
Things don't go right for them. Look at Kanye.
Well, no. Look at what's the other one that Kylie used to date? Tiger. Well, he's come back though.
Like, in every way, people that get involved in them, I think that they're a very, very toxic family that are not like, yeah, they're good entrepreneurs.
they're amazing
They're
entrepreneurs.
proper business
Yeah.
women, right? They're on it, and I respect that. But I think they're damaging. And so when I see that they're meddling with things that are like that, like, these are people's lives.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you're just out here documenting it. I don't understand it. Like, I don't disagree with documenting things. I just think that the intentions of things mean a lot to me, and I think to a lot of people. So it's like, even when she went to meet Trump to talk about it, it just hella uncomfortable and weird. It's just very, very strange and very.
What was uncomfortable and weird?
Like, why are you meeting President Trump?
That was the only. She said in the show that she goes, that's the only way to be able to get her out is for her. She goes, I don't want to. She's been very vocal like that. She's proper anti-Trump.
Yeah.
But she was like, that's the only way to be able to get her situation revoked. Yeah, and to get her to be pardoned is to go straight to the president. So she goes, I have to take myself to the president and basically ask him to revoke this whole situation.
I don't know. For me,
she never wanted
for her
to.
stand in front.
She's always
she
been
went
very
there.
vocal on
She
Twitter.
did it. She took a picture of him
because she had
She took
to.
a few.
Because she had to.
she
Because
doesn't because she's an entrepreneur and business people in America
don't think so.
do more than politics in America. Politician who? They run things. Look at bruv, that family can make anything happen.
Yeah, of course.
She didn't need to meet with Trump. Bruv, what is Trump in the grand
looked
scheme of
into it.
things?
She looked into it and
The
she was
whole-
like, it said of the thing, she looked into it and she was like, the only way for me to go and help this woman is because we've tried every single avenue. The only way to get her pardoned. And she it was so, I thought the episode was sick.
I haven't
Literally,
even seen
really
it.
liked the episode
I haven't-
because she
I haven't
was
seen
like
any of this.
explaining the justice
I
system.
haven't either, to be fair.
She was explaining the justice system and she was saying how she goes, it's so unfair because this woman was basically caught up in a situation that was unfair and she's never had a single offence yet she was sentenced to, like, it was just very disproportionate to
I
the
respect
actual
her
crime.
willingness
So she was
to
talking.
learn.
So she was talking about things, and she's actually, and I think it's because she's married to Kanye. I think Kanye has completely changed her. I think he's making her think about things that she's never had to consider before.
Which is very strange
I
because
think-
he's Make America Great Again.
I feel like it's because of that. I think because now she's got kids that are mixed, yeah, and that would have to face discrimination in the future. She wants to get clued up about these
Which is
things.
good.
And she wants and so what, she wants to raise more awareness about the justice system in America. So what, she has a TV show about it. So at least people are talking about it now. We're talking about it now, but we probably would be talking about it. If
We
she
would
wasn't
be
there,
talking about
I'm
it, but other people wouldn't.
yeah,
I
but
hear
other
what
people
you're
wouldn't.
saying.
People, so she's using her platform now for good, and it's more than just contour. It's more than just makeup. It's more
Yeah.
than just the surgery, blah blah blah. So why not? Why does it matter who it's
I
come
hear
from?
you. I
She's
just
raising-
don't like the family.
Say that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the family. I don't like the way they do things.
Because obviously, like, Reem's dad, Kim's dad, yeah, was a lawyer. So you can look at, and she always said she wanted to go to college. She wanted to study, blah blah blah. And even Beyonce was saying the other day, like, I not to compare what Kim's doing to what Beyonce did with the homecoming at Coachella, but Beyonce gave an entire platform to Black youth, yeah. And she was like, if I didn't join Destiny's Child, and if I wasn't a singer, and if I didn't pursue a career as an artist, I would have been doing this. Yeah, I would have been at college and I would have studied and I would have been part of this massive band and da. This is what I'm passionate about. And like the entire documentary was about her. There was like a bigger meaning to it. It was more than just music. It was what it represented. So I think in the same, and I feel like Kim should be afforded the same respect in what she's doing, and that yes, they've built an entire empire off of something that maybe you might not agree with, but she's changing the face of it. She's trying to do something that's a bit different. She's trying to use her platform. She was saying in like one of the episodes, she was like, it's difficult for me because I'm a mother of four kids now. Yeah, I'm a mother of 4 kids. I have this entire business. I have so many things I have to do, and she spends 5 hours a week trying to fit in time to study to become a lawyer, right? So you have to respect that. You have to respect a hardworking mum who's trying to do something. Like, she doesn't have to. She can just live her life in her little mansion and don't give a shit about nobody else. But she's trying to do something about it. And so what? She has a TV program about it.
I think
that she's a businesswoman at the end of the day. She has to earn money. She has mouths to feed. What? So she shouldn't earn money?
Can I answer the bloody question? I think the
go on, then you waste
I think the problem with having I agree that it's a great thing to do, etc., blah 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 blah. However, I think that when you make money off something like that, you're exploiting people that really need help. That's my issue with it. Like, obviously, these people in prison would love any sort of help. So for her to like kind of dangle it in front of them, but they have to be on a TV show. Is problematic.
How do you know she's dangling in front of them and they have to be on a TV show? How do you know she's doing that? Why are you guys just jumping to conclusions and assuming shit? You don't know.
Because you're watching it.
We don't know what the show is going to be like.
But I thought you said you already watched it.
No, I'm talking about on her keeping up with the Kardashian stuff. She's been documenting it and talking about it as it is already. She shows little snippets of it. It's bare cute. Like she'll go to like her classes with like North and Kanye would take North and she'll be like, okay, bye, mummy, you're going to study. Like, that shit is bare cute. Like her little girl is seeing her mum studying and doing something. That's inspirational. Like, I think you're
getting confused as to the fact that for me, the issue is not about her studying. I'm not saying anything about that. That's all well and good. It's just the fact that it does feel like everything is exploitation with them. It just doesn't sit right.
It doesn't feel authentic to me.
It's like them people that, right, that might be what it is.
And I think
it's like when someone's
that's just
doing,
because of
when
the
people
reputation
filming
they have.
Yeah, possibly.
It's I think what we was about to say as well. So it's like when people film in African countries and be like, oh, we're helping.
Yeah.
So it's like poverty porn.
Yeah.
I get
right.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, you are doing a good thing, but why is it always documented? Why is it in my face? Why are you in this village smiling?
Because people are interested. This is the thing. People want to know. Like when Kim did the Vogue.
It's not. I don't think it's about people wanting to know. I think it's about people's egos.
When Kim did the Vogue interview, and she revealed it in that interview, and she was like, yeah, I'm studying to be a lawyer, blah blah blah, whatever. Do you know how stressed I am right now? I don't even like book club, but here I am, munching away. Yeah. When she revealed in that interview, that's all anybody spoke about that entire week. Kim is studying, blah blah blah. People were bare interested, like, how's she doing it? Where is she going? Da 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 da. So it would be weird if Kim, who's someone who has been documenting her entire life since the age of whatever it was that the whole scandal came out, right? They're on like season 16 or whatever it is of like Keeping Up with the Kardashian. It would be weird if she didn't. Do you get it? That's her livelihood.
Studying.
That's her livelihood.
Yeah, document you studying. I don't have a problem with that. Sorry, I got a mouthful.
But we don't know what the show's going to be
involved.
like. We don't know what the show's going to be like. So it's difficult to jump the gun and assume, because historically this is what they've done in the past. This is what will happen. Let the show happen.
I just think, you know what? After all the millions you've made, and after all the billions you've made, and after all the shows and episodes you've made, you could have just left this one thing for yourself on the side. Like, there's no need to make money off it. If you're telling me that she's not making a single dollar out of this show, then 100% I'll be like, yeah, that's cool, great awareness, all of that stuff. But if she's making money off of it and her empire is growing because of these people that are in prison that she's helping, then I have a problem with that. That's literally my view on it. And I'm not opposed to people. I'm obviously, you guys know this. I love watching like vlogs and YouTube and stuff, and that's all people basically doing what the Kardashians are doing on a smaller scale. So I'm not opposed to it. I just think that there are some things that you can't exploit. And I would say the same thing, like you said, about people going to, for example, Africa or to Yemen and, filming.
We're in Africa. We're in Africa, Sana.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
You're a person of colour. You should know about why that's jarring. To say,
but yeah, that's my take on it. To be honest,
she's Miss Bear.
You're a fool. Can I just say we've been talking for?
I hear that, Sana. No, I hear what you guys are trying to say, but I just feel like give it a chance, innit? Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. And I think it's because we're not the target audience, and that's probably why we're so triggered by it. But I guess
You're not
if,
For real,
well,
you're
yeah,
loving it.
but
Listen,
I feel
if she
'cause I
donates all the money
genuinely
she makes
disrespect
from
the girl, I
this
just
to people like prisoners' family or relatives of prisoners or helping
prison reform or
helping
something.
legal groups assist prisoners get out, then I'll be happy with that. Otherwise, it's just more content for them.
Another Kardashian scheme.
Yeah, man, more content.
I think I think she's done something that's really amazing, to be honest, and I don't care if she earns money from it. She deserves it. Like,
Are you happy? Yeah.
if she's using her platform, if she's using her platform to help people rebuild their, like the women that she freed, you know, the women that she got out of prison, she's now got a book deal. Do you know what I mean? And that's like her helping somebody tell their story, and I just feel like we're very quick to judge someone who maybe on the grand, like on the outside it may seem like she probably has no morals and she doesn't care and it's all about money, but I just feel like give it a chance, man. Let's just see what happens.
All right.
And even if she does earn money from this, she's helping people, man. Like, you stand out, not everybody is on some voluntary tip, man. Like, sometimes
Fam,
you
she
never know
doesn't
what's
need
behind the
more
scenes.
money.
She could be
That's what I'm
bankrupt.
saying to
We
you.
don't know. We don't know.
Give the money to the prisoners that she's
got bailed
freeing.
out recently. No. And Sana, do you know what? That would be a very admirable thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if because I know that if you were in that position, wallahi, I know that you would do that, and that's very admirable. But we can't hold people to the same standards as ourselves and what we would do. So you're doing something good, okay, let's just appreciate it and call it a day. Like, I'll complain on the sidelines, but don't knock what she's doing.
Sorry, mate. I don't know. I have no opinion on it, really. Like, no solid opinions. I'm just kind of like...
You just spent the last 10 minutes arguing.
I'm just cautious. That's it. Like, I just know what the family is about.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can, like, blame anyone for feeling cautious or feeling, like, suspicious about it. Because we know what they're about. Like, we've seen them live their lives for the past how many years. Not that I've ever seen an episode, but I know bits and bobs about their lives and stuff. But I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
That's like you know when you were saying about YouTubers and shit, and like you watch that to a minor scale. We all know, Sana, that 20-minute vlog isn't a true reality of what their life is like. It's just a very manufactured version of reality. So I think you're basing your opinion of Kim and the entire Kardashian clan based off of a manufactured version of reality. We don't really know what happens behind the scenes, and maybe they are a toxic family. We will never know for sure.
Okay.
I feel like I know.
I feel like I know as
Sorry,
well. But
you lot can be.
But I admire your
Shamak, you
benefit
can
of the
be on
doubt.
the fence and not on team them. But for me, I'm like, nah, I'm not about it.
Yeah, man.
I'm just about looking at what someone does.
No, but that's not true. Because you're so fun. Bruv, Shamak's the first person to cancel everyone. Everybody. Usually it's the opposite. As we have figured out, people have their personal preferences of who they like and who they don't like. Something doesn't sit right for you with someone the same way that something doesn't sit right with me about Kim K's movements.
Yep. But you guys are just basing it off of just from what it looks like. You guys have never watched any of her TV programs.
I have.
I haven't.
You watched
yes.
the most recent
I've never
episode.
watched it. And
I haven't watched the
proudly
most recent
say
episode, but I've
that I
seen
don't trust
episodes.
And that's where she addresses it. From when? From 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the recent stuff, because if you watch the recent episodes, it's completely different to how it was
Bruv,
before.
I'm sorry. There are so many women out there doing amazing things. And I'm just sick of the Kardashians being at the forefront of absolutely everything.
It's not their
That's
fault that
it.
people love them and adore them like that. And
This girl is their PR manager, you know.
She literally, bro.
Wallah.
She literally.
Are they paying you for this?
I don't know what. Are you
Sponsored
getting
by
paid by
Kim K?
them?
Sponsored by Sugar Bear Hair.
This is bearing in mind these are the girls. I don't know. Anyway, let me not.
Yeah, no, I don't rate it. I'm saying
You
I'm
obviously do.
I'm saying
After
in
all
this
that,
new
you don't
venture,
rate
I rate it. This is the only thing I rate.
Piss off.
I'm actually gobsmacked.
You're
I don't know what to say.
a fool,
I've seen her in a new light.
How you gonna say I don't rate her after all that?
Anyways, guys, this is what I'm saying about this, the whole person of color thing. We all just struggle differently, and we all have. Even just now, we completely like don't you? It's like I feel like my issue with Maya stems from the whole racist comment,
Yeah.
racist tweet thing,
Which
that
is
she
fair.
said.
I would
And that's
accept that.
where it comes from.
And also in all situations, I don't agree with holding people holding
to account
people's
for things
past.
they said in their youth.
So yeah, like someone who's 16 Like when you were
Reem, were you racist when you were 16?
no, but listen to me.
This is what I'm trying to say.
No, listen
you
to
were old
me.
enough to have sense and to know
When
what
I
you're
was
saying.
in school, I was stupid.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone was stupid.
Right. We used to take the piss out of each other. Bruv, I used to say your mum jokes to people. For what reason?
I
Like,
still do.
exactly. So it's like, why would you hold? It's like that thing of that girl. I think she's a Somali Labour. I don't know if she's Somali. She might not be. But she was with Labour. I don't know exactly what her role was. But all her tweets came out about Israel.
No, she wasn't a Somali Labour. You're talking about Amina. She was
I don't know who. Was she 16 and she made stupid comments?
I was gonna,
Not stupid comments.
I was going to
but
say
comments that were
when
right
we were
about
all
whatever.
when we were all in our teenage years, we used to say a lot of shit about.
yeah, and we had the luxury of not having social media, so we didn't have that to bite us. In the
Right.
arse.
So then it's like for me, I can't hold someone accountable for something they said when they were 16 and then just decide that that's that forever.
Yeah, man.
Because you
People
grow
grow.
and you learn and you change.
But it's not something, is it? That was a very colorist, a very racist thing. That
It
she did. So it
was.
It wasn't just something.
Of course it was. But then you'd be clapping for that flipping. Do you see that video of that white supremacist that became Muslim after he was vexed about Muslims? And everyone was like, oh my God,
exactly.
mashallah, this is
on AJ
amazing.
Plus. I remember I saw that video. It was a bit mad. It was so mad.
Right, because everyone's like, oh my God, this is amazing. So it's like people change. That's how humans are. But yeah, what else were we going to talk? That was
Nah,
it.
this
Nah, that's
podcast
it,
is
guys. Come
lit.
on, that's it.
Sorry, I was talking bare. Sorry, guys.
No, you didn't see Shambak though. Sana, I wish you could see her when we were having the conversation about the term coloured people. She was moving from side to side. And she was
I couldn't even look
getting
Reem in the eye.
vexed. She was getting so angry. I actually felt bad.
When you were like, why can't Arabs be person of colour? I couldn't even look Reem in the eye. I was just like,
No, but I just don't know.
it's so wrong. Look at the time.
No, but
No, she was actually done with the conversation.
No, but that was a good conversation. I'm glad we had it. Thank you for sharing.
And I always encourage these conversations. Like I said, even though, like, I don't know, you said you didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel uncomfortable, but some people might feel uncomfortable because it's big conversations and it's hard because it's addressing things that like you wouldn't be addressing otherwise. But it's so important because you get to hear perspectives,
But also
and it's
you're
important.
saying, saying things that you know people will disagree with.
Yeah,
or
but it's
might
your
be triggering
truth.
to everybody else. But yeah, this is just how I feel. Guys.
It's your
Sorry.
truth. No, but this is it. It's your truth, and it's like we should know what people are feeling and thinking, and share how we're feeling and thinking. And even if you don't agree with each other, it can still be calm. Like it doesn't just because you're friends and whatever, or just because you're in a relationship or whatever it is, doesn't mean that you're not. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have to agree on everything. So I think it's a special thing to be able to discuss these things freely, isn't it?
Yeah, hear that, babe. On that note, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of £3.30. You know where to find us. We are available on Spotify, on iTunes, on YouTube. Just search £3.30. You can also hit us up on Instagram as well. Reem is the one that controls the Instagram stories. It's really interactive. It's lots of fun. She does lots of polls and questions, and we have a lot of fun on there. So make sure you follow us on there too. And send us in your suggestions as usual. Thank you to everyone that did already send us their suggestions, and people that contributed.
Yeah, and we didn't
Love
really
it.
talk about what you guys suggested, but we'll get there next week because we just got a bit gassed.
We went off on a mad.
We actually went on a mad one today.
And we said we're going to be
But
short.
yeah,
It's
thank
going to be
you
a short one today.
guys.
All right, until next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I.
You're an idiot.